Radio Orlando.
Central Florida's only radio station for Christian hip hop and new gospel music.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Don't allow anybody in life to tell you that you're not great.
Glory. From God to the
You're nothing less. Yeah. I know you watching on your grind and you working. My people out here starving and they hurting, but you don't even see what's going on up in my city. Got homies that's alive, but they dead amongst the living. Trying to steal the right, looking at me like I'm tripping. The life how they living, sense to high, now that's a given. Wanna be the boss of reasoning so I can make a difference, so you can move a little different. Never will I forget to mention that I'm Polk County raised. You know what we all about. You know where we from, the city, from the slum, we get it out. We're from gutter to glory, here to tell you my story. An unsung hero by the grace of God that made it out. Memory Lane, there was a shooting every other weekend. Bodies dropped off in the box every single weekend. And everybody say they for you, but they not the heathen. Grimy and jealous and envy just for any reason. Let all the brave home on the free, but only some are free here. I'm on the clock, I'm here to fight. And I'm no longer breathing, reaching to every region, help with the lesson grieving, love on them, give them Jesus, going loud like Killer Regis. Yeah, transformation is from gutter to glory, on the road to the joy in the morning. How would I survive if I didn't make you head on my line? From gutter to glory, just my story. Transformation, yeah, from gutter to glory. Came out of the slum, came up from the bottom, now we won. From gutter to glory, yeah. Glory, yeah. Came up from the bottom, the slums, came back on top, now we won. From gutter to glory. I seen a lot of my homies die, and they don't understand, and they don't know why. But let's go and break it down. Talking about that thug life, don't think somebody not gonna put a slug in you and think twice. Never that, they gonna test your gangster. You know, in our world is try the spirit by the spirit, yeah they wanksters. But I just wanna tell them what they think of. This life can be your prison, don't allow this brother shank you. From gutter to glory, this American story. The return of the prodigal, yeah that joy in the morning. Put a stop to the morning and govern yourself accordingly. Cause you are the most wanted, the devil not to heat Debo and murking them by the dozen. So you know me, I'm big brother to your weight, I come running. They try to jump you and break you down with their words and their punches. Though it's rocky, you got the eye of the tiger, the fist and lies they project on you, decipher. From gutter to glory, this your story. Transformation, yeah, from gutter to glory. You came out from the slum, came out from the bottom, now you won. From gutter to glory, yeah. Glory, yeah. Hey, came up from the bottom, the slums, came back on top, now we won. From gutter to glory.
That's right, y'all. From gutter to glory. Welcome to Culture for Christ Radio. I got my brother, my friend, my homie, all of that in one. He is here in the studios. Well, by way of
kind of sort of
StreamYard. He's here.
kind of sort of in the studio, right?
Kind of sort of something like that.
Lady Drina, you're looking beautiful. How you doing today?
Oh, thank you. I am doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. Won't
You sure? You sure? That was a little.
I could, but you know, it doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense to complain about.
It won't make any sense to complain. Honest. I got you. Yeah. Well, we both had exciting weekends, right?
Yes, we did.
Busy, exciting. You had to put your executive cap on and do all of the above and beyond jobs of being a CFO.
Yes, goodness.
So tell us a little bit about you. experience of the Eddies this year?
It has been a wonderful. It was actually a wonderful experience. It was different from what we normally do, and it was very good in the sense of the different performances that took place. I have to say, hey there, what's going on, Montreal? What's going on, Lady Jackson? What's going on, Philip? I'm giving all these shout outs to these people. And there was a, just things that were different this year from what we normally do. We normally honor mainly the independent artists. We actually this year
Right.
did more of performances, and we honored two people. We honored Kurt Carr and we honored Vanessa Bell
Right.
Armstrong, and they are two of the strong greats in the music industry, in the gospel music, Christian music industry. So we had an opportunity to honor Kurt Carr and Vanessa Bell Armstrong. I had an opportunity to meet Vanessa on a personal level, and I also met Kurt Carr
Awesome.
on a personal. It's funny because both of them are like so short.
Yes. And you won't know that because, the way they sing like they're tall. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
They
it does
sing
make sense.
tall,
It
okay?
makes perfect sense.
They
Like,
sing tall. And so when you see them in reality set scene, like, man, you're little people.
like this dude is so little. Like,
Oh, I met Kurt Carr at the
how you
Stellars
doing,
one year, and I
Jordan?
was like, wow. Yeah.
But it was different. I think that we did have, I want to on behalf of the Eddie Awards, I do want to thank everybody that participated with us this year because it was an amazing year. And I also want to just say to all of those, because we had so many things going on. We had issues
Yeah.
with people checking into hotel rooms. We had issues with flights.
Yes.
And those things were a little bit disturbing to some people. It was disturbing to
Yeah.
us. And,
Yes.
from the Eddie Awards desk, from the mouth of the Eddie Awards to all of the people who came and participated, we do apologize for those inconveniences. A lot of those things were just completely out of our control.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
was so much going on Juneteenth weekend. I remember last year we were in Jacksonville Juneteenth weekend, and there was a whole lot going on then, but I did not see or
This year was
anticipate.
more turned
It
up.
was more.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
more.
really turned up this year. So,
Yeah, and
we
I heard you also had a couple of events that you attended this weekend, so we missed you at the Eddie Awards. But what did you do this weekend?
yes. So while you were being uh the influential and most famous person there, while you were doing that, no, I'm just messing around, y'all.
Lord have
But
mercy.
while you were doing that, I was in Atlanta for the Quartet Music Awards, the very first Quartet Music Awards. And I tell you, it was amazing to see so many quartet artists from
Awesome.
everywhere show up, whether they were singing or they were just participating in this, because this is not the first Quartet Awards platform, but this is one that was done at such a level that was by far stellar. It was a very much stellar type level. They did their absolute best to do so. So I do want to give my shout outs to Chubbs Morton and Connie Berth. They are the CEO and CFOs of that Quartet Music Awards. And it was amazing. I got to finally meet Evelyn Turntine AG. We talk on the
Get out of
phone.
here.
Yeah, we talk on the phone, and we've done like ministry things together on Zoom, but I never got to personally meet her. And so I got to personally hug her, and she's just like, "Oh my God, you're like my baby. You're so beautiful." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm like geeked out right now." And so I got to take pictures and meet her, and that just really made my absolute day. I love Bobby Jones. So Bobby Jones was there. He was one of the hosts for the event, and man, that was just awesome too. And he was like, "I remember your face," and I'm like, "You should, but no, you shouldn't." But thank you. So one of my dreams, and I'm going to put this out there, one of my dreams is to host a Bobby Jones taping with Bobby Jones. That's my dream. So whoever can make that happen, y'all make that happen. I
A
want to go to
Bobby
Nashville.
Jones taping with Bobby Jones.
Yes,
You try to be the
yes,
Barbara Walters of gospel music,
yes.
huh? You try to get these
Yes.
big
I
interviews.
want to go and host with him. He's still doing it in Nashville big time. And so I went to one of his tapings in Nashville and took with two of the groups that I used to market for. And it was amazing. And ever since then, I said there was a lady hosting with him, and I was like, man, I can do that and better. You know, so I just really want to do it. So I would love to do that. And he's such an icon and legend. So to work with him would be amazing. So that's what I did on Juneteenth Day. And it was the smartest thing we did was when we left our hotel, we Ubered to the event. And let me tell you, the Lord was in the Holy Spirit right then. You know what I'm saying? He was in our Holy Spirit and we was in his, however that was supposed to go. Y'all understand what I'm saying? But listen, the Holy Spirit to catch an Uber. So we Ubered there, right? And grateful that we did because over 75 cars got a boot.
Oh wow! Because of where they park.
Because of the parking. Atlanta is
Hey,
ridiculous for parking,
hey,
y'all.
Sequoia
Sequoia,
Howard
what's
from
up, baby?
Agape Group.
I see you,
Yeah,
Sequoia.
what's up? Yes,
So
yes, we got to. This is there. Speaking of, all of the different things that happen.
yes,
The
our Agape.
Agape Music Group performed. They were the headliners for the Christian Hip Hop Rhythm and Praise concert. It was so crazy to see them perform live. That's like when I tell you this is a husband and wife team. They
They are
operate
amazing.
as a
Yeah,
unit. When I tell you
yeah,
they operate as a
yeah.
unit. Oh man, I saw so many people. So many people. Hey, Lady
I see
Drina.
everybody talking about the parking, but yeah, the parking in Atlanta was horrible. One of the parking things didn't have tickets, so the people put their money in, but the tickets wouldn't come out. And so when they talked to the people that were there, that was working there, they said, "Well, don't worry about it, as long as you pay for it." And that wasn't
But they
true.
still got booted.
They still got a boot, and guess what? It's $75 to remove a boot.
Even after they was paid.
Listen, these people got to go back and fight this.
No,
They
no,
got to
no, no,
they got to
no, no,
fight
no,
it.
no, no,
It's
no, no, no.
$75 to remove a boot because that boot company is privately owned and yeah, it's privately owned and contracted.
They're contracted with the county.
Come on. Yeah. And so, hey, this is a cash cow for them and they made really good off of our quartet industry.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a really downside. And so I'm just grateful that we Ubered there because we drove actually, but we left our car at the hotel and Ubered. Yeah.
Somebody posted a question. Edith Neely, she sings with one of the groups that performed at the Eddie Awards. They did a tribute to Vanessa. No, they actually did the tribute choir for Kurt Carr. And it's Edith Neely. She said Bobby Jones has wet kiss.
Oh God. I can't.
Did he kiss you?
I can agree.
True.
I can't agree.
I can't, and I'm not looking forward to that. I don't. Brother, just give me a handshake and a power.
Y'all are funny. I can't with you people today. So funny. So that was amazing though. We really had a great time. We saw Lisa Noel Smith was there, Daryl Pettis, a lot of the legends was there, that some of them couldn't come, but some majority of them were there. It was really, really a nice event. Then the next day we went to a what was it called? It was a Father's Day event where, let me see if I can get my
what? Come on, no, y'all didn't again.
Father's Day event. Where Steve, thank you for your continuation, or what? Let me see. I'm reading it backwards. Contribution to the quartet in gospel industry. Okay,
That's fire, Drina. That's fire.
Isn't that nice? So
Yes,
got
that
another
is. That is.
award. I think this makes number 26.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I'm grateful
Wow.
for that. Grateful for that.
You're very decorated. Like I'm
Hey,
military decorated. You are radio decorated.
listen, trying to leave something for my kids to say, hey, my mama did something in
Mama
her
did.
life.
She has won all these awards. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
she
That's
did
what's up.
something. So
I,
tell us about that first group we played today because they were a part of the Eddies. So talk a
So
little bit about them.
absolutely. So the first person that we heard was Boy Wonder, straight out of Polk County, Haines City. Uh, Actually, he's not from Haines City, but he's around here in this area, Polk County. And what that song that you heard was "Gutter to Glory." He was actually a part of the Christian hip hop honor session where we took the time out to honor Christian hip hop artists and rhythm and praise artists in the industry from around the country. And so during this time, we had our guest speaker was Andre Mullen, who is he is the CEO of N Access Group. He's also the CEO of UGM Digital. So there was a lot of performances. And so that what you heard was from Boy Wonder. So that was his single that's out. That's kind of being pushed and is hot, produced with, you could hear Pastor Tim Moses with the vocals singing "Gutter to Glory" in the background. So that was one of the hit songs, and he performed that. We also
Yes.
had performances by somebody else who we're going to play later on in the program, but it was hot. What I like best about everything that we did was the fact that people were connected to industry people that could actually push things and get them into places where they need to be. Like,
In
let me tell
position for
you,
networking.
yes, they were really impressed. Andre, UGM Digital, and Blood Broad Radio, Tim Moses was very highly impressed with Aaron. They were impressed not only with his music, but with his business. Tell me that dude
Oh,
business
he's
wasn't in
very
place.
business.
His business
Oh,
was
he's
all
business.
in
I love
place.
it. Yeah, his business. He's very business. I love that.
Hey Antoinette. Hey Chantel. Hey Nicole. What's up,
Yeah.
Philip? Yeah,
Oh
they
man, we
was
got a lot of people on. Thank y'all.
they a lot of people, they were impressed. They were impressed with the dude's business. And I was like, they were like, who produces him? Because his music was so clean. So I saw Andre pulled him
It's
to the
clean.
side,
It's
like getting
great.
his music. And let me tell y'all something about Andre. Andre Mullen he is connected to over 350,000 DJs worldwide. Worldwide. So that means
Wow,
that,
that's
and not only
awesome.
that, but the several BDS radio stations to put Aaron's music in spin and in rotation on these different. I'm just like, I'm what makes it all the better to me was that I was able to bring people together to make connections, and the real that's the
Yes.
realness of having
Yes.
these things. It's
Yes.
not
Yes.
just to come and perform,
Yeah.
that's good, but to make business
Thank
connections, because if your music is good, you can get critiqued. And please, people, do not feel bad
your
about
reception
getting
is kind of going
critiqued.
in and
Yeah,
out.
take it in
That's
stride
similar to
and then
what
make better. I got a little drawback here because my it just like completely froze up
amazing.
on me.
Yeah, it
You know my
did. But every artist at the quartets was just like that as well. They were able to meet people that they haven't met before, fellowship with people. Bobby Jones was so impressed. This what really got me. He was so impressed with the quartet genre and all of the artists that took place in, that was a part of that event. They were immaculate. I mean, Jarrell Smalls opened us up with the prayer room. Let me just say, oh, he took us to
of
the prayer
course,
room. You hear me?
of course, of
Oh, he took
course.
us to the prayer room. He opened it up. I don't think nobody was sitting down. Even the people that had listen, and it's scary. If you ever been to the center stage in Atlanta, the seating goes downward. Okay, and
Mm,
I'm like
okay.
I had on like 5-inch heels. we go downward. So
You
even to
walking like
stand,
this,
it's
leaning
scary.
back.
Oh, it's real scary. What? And I had a
Keeping the
train.
gravity back.
I had a long train on my dress. Listen,
Right.
I was so nervous. Let me tell y'all. I had to present. So I was the graphic design presenter. And so I'm sending text messages like, hey, y'all need to tell me when it's time for me to go. I need a head start. Like I got on these heels and I got this long dress on. I need a head start. So they were like, just go start walking now and go to the backstage. I said, okay. I get to the backstage, y'all. They got steps with like 10 steps. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I got to go up these 10 steps. So I had to climb up these 10 steps. And when I got to the top, I was shaking because I was like, oh man, this is not going to be good. I'm on the top of this stage. I'm trying to fix this dress. And I just said, they said, calm down. You got this. I said, okay. So when I started walking out, I was received so well, y'all. Listen, I hadn't even opened my mouth. I didn't even talk. And they calmed me down so fast. Everybody was like, Drina. And I was just like, oh, okay, I'm good. Let me just keep walking. So I kept walking and I did that presentation. And listen, my train, they said I had trained for days. My train followed me all the way down the stage.
Your train followed you all
but
the way.
I didn't trip. And I didn't fall.
A little bit of oh my God.
So that was amazing to me, those moments. But it was amazing to have. It was one of those things. Yep, there were issues over here. But listen, we got this song.
These technical difficulties are killing me right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having technical difficulties, at least on the live feed side, but the radio is going good. So I'm getting there we go.
I'm keep going, I ain't love. I can put in work to shut the devil up. Baby, don't watch your mama hustle. Keep on going, cause I ain't had enough love. Is a rock on which I stand, my man. I don't need nobody telling me nothing, cause I know he got me in his plan. And anytime that I need my grace in his vest, yo. Ebenezer on the solid rock, yeah, I'm making moves, boy, I'm taking my stand, hey. Killing spree, I'm on the killing spree. I pray to God that you mention me on the road to my bigamy, breaking back energy. Saw that nobody outdo the King Judy. My movie scene feeling like truthfully I've been out hooping, the jumping, the prove to me different. Feel like I'm dribbling vision. I ball like I'm missing. I'm kicking my purpose. Karate kick fishing. Had to test the water with my own feet. I'm putting work to how I'm gonna leave. I see you walking on the ways, but I'm big P. You said I'm tired of getting my hope on leaving it, man. So forgive me if I needed to try. Jesus is my rock, my rock. Jesus is my rock, my rock. Jesus is my rock, my rock. Jesus is 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 my rock.
Jesus for president 2020. God taking precedence, say it with me. Forgiving, repenting. Finally living, he living in me. We going in half, 50-50. This joy that I have, they didn't give it to me. Believing, receiving, I mean it, repeating. Winning. Pay the cost to be the boss. Running for Jesus, Randy Moss. Putting in work till they put me in the dirt because he died upon the cross. Teaching every now and then. He knows my name, calls a friend. Can I get a witness? God did it. God, Jesus is my rock, my rock. Jesus is my rock, my rock. Jesus is my rock, my rock. Jesus Jesus is my rock. Jesus is my rock. Jesus is the rock on which I stand, my man. I don't need nobody telling me nothing, cause I know he got me in his plans. Anytime that I need a microphone, next me fast. Ebenezer on the solid rock, I been making moves, boy, I'm taking my stand. Yeah. My rock.
That's right. Jesus is my rock. Yes, Lord. I like that song. That's Aaron Lavelle right there with Jesus is my rock. That's the remix because the original song it was a little different, but hey, I think I like this one better.
Oh, that one right there is fire.
Yeah, I like this one better. Oh yeah, I love that one.
Look, my homeboy, he said we having technical difficulties. He's talking about tap the side of the screen. Like we used to do the TVs.
Oh, he was trying to teach us how to do it. I thought maybe when you put enough quarters in our look, we ain't pay enough for our internet or something. We need some more quarters, you know.
We need some. Okay. Somebody rebuke that in Jesus' name. Antoinette Jordan said, we rebuke that in Jesus' name.
That's right. That's my sister. Hey, baby, love you, girl. But yeah, we also got a conversation because we're getting ready to go into a little break. That's what we'll do, and then we're gonna come back with this amazing conversation. And I think me and Marcus differ a little bit from opinions. Yeah, we kind of differ from opinions on this one.
Yeah.
I think that's healthy and okay. I think I'll win this argument, though.
you might win this argument. I ain't mad.
Okay, don't be mad. Don't be mad because I aim to win. I'm just saying. I'm one of those. I do come to win. I'm just saying. But listen, we're going to take a short break. We got my girl coming up right now. This is Robin McGee, and this is one of my favorite songs. My first song that introduced me to her, and it's called Come On, Jesus.
Many times I failed you, but you never given up on me. Oh, I tried doing things on my own, but I just can't get it right. Losing my mind, about to have a fit when all I have to do is do you will. Oh, I hear you knocking, so I'm gonna let you in and finally surrender to you. So come on, Jesus, take over my life, Come on, Jesus, take over my life, Take me out of darkness, into the light. Come on, Jesus, take over my life, come on, Jesus, take over my life, come on, Jesus, take over my life,
What's up, y'all? This is John and Sequoia Howard of the Agape Music Group.
Yeah, and we rock with Marcus, Lady Drina, and the Culture for Christ segment on WOKB Radio Orlando.
Central Florida's only radio station for Christian hip hop and new gospel music.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Man, you guys wanted something new, different, and exciting. Most important, clean and funny. Then look no further than Popcorn and Jokes, the clean edition, June 24th and 25th. It's chocolate from Def Jam and Comic View.
It used to be Coach bags and everything, so now it's just X's and O's, honey, X's and O's.
Along with the hilarious Rod Z.
You know, people ask me all the time where I get my sense of humor from. I tell them church.
All hosted by comedian Joe Neal. It's all going down at the Fashion Square Mall at the Premier 14 Cinemas. It's Popcorn and Jokes, the clean edition. Take your bae and make a night of it. It's Popcorn and Jokes featuring chocolate.
The first one was a crackhead, and the second one was trying to crack my head. I don't think that's funny, personally.
Reserve your spot and get in on the early bird special at popcornandjokes.com. That's popcornandjokes.com.
If you love good food and entertainment, then you are in for a treat. WOKB presents a gospel brunch with a soul food vibe. Live performances by comedian Mrs. Ruby, gospel artist Kalia Foy, and gospel hip-hop artist Life Support. Come out June 26th from 3 to 6 p.m. to enjoy food, faith, and flow. Reserve your seat for only $5 at www.bar5lounge.eventbrite.com. That's www.bar5lounge.eventbrite.com.
All right, y'all. Listen, WOKB is doing it big. Y'all hear it, right? Y'all know y'all hear us doing it big. We got 2 events that we are co-sponsors of, and we want to invite you guys out to them. Listen, the prices that you can't beat. If you like to find something fun and light to do on a Sunday after church, well, a gospel brunch is where you want to go. And it's going to be right at Bar 5. You say, hey, where is Bar 5? Well, Bar 5 is located in the West Oaks Mall. It is right there. If you ever saw 3-in-1 back in the days, anybody, you remember that?
I remember 3-in-1 Cafe very well.
Right. So 3-in-1 is now Bar 5. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's new owners there, and they partnered with WOKB, and we're getting ready to do something amazing there. And I believe it's every third Sunday, or second Sunday or something like that. We are sponsoring a gospel brunch, and so it's food, only $5 for your seating. Then you go Dutch, because we're not paying for your food. So you go Dutch. But listen, it's amazing. They got great food, great prices, and it's going to be fun. We got a comedian's going to be there. You heard we got a gospel hip hop artist. Life Support's going to be there.
That's
and
his name, Life Support.
Yeah, Life Support. And Kalia Foy, she's going to be there. I haven't seen her perform in a long time, so really.
Neither have I. This ought to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm really. Yeah, so that's going to be 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday after church, y'all. It's going to be really good. And then we have popcorn. Sunday? This Sunday. Yep, this Sunday. It's going to be good. Popcorn and Jokes, clean edition of the Popcorn and Jokes. And we have to stress that because the first one I went to, okay, but I'm going to talk about this one. June 24th and the 25th, we have clean comedy, and we got our very own Rod Z. Yeah, Rod Z is going to be there, hosted by Joe Neal. Joe Neal is a comedian that me and Glenn just recently connected with and met, but Glenn has partnered up with WOKB to help forward this Popcorn and Jokes, and I think it's going to be amazing. And I love being able to come outside the box to enjoy a day and have a good laugh, right? So this is going to take place at the cinema. Yeah, we need it. It's at the seminar, the Premier 14 seminar in the Fashion Square Mall, 3201 East Colonial Drive. So isn't that awesome, Marcus? We got these events that we sponsoring and co-sponsoring and doing.
Yes, that is awesome. I want to, because Ms. Ruby always always brings a laugh whenever
Oh my God. Yes, Miss
whenever
Ruby.
she's in the house.
Yes, Miss Ruby
Miss
does.
Ruby.
Miss Ruby
But
does.
Rod
Yes.
Z is an extremely talented and funny comedian.
Yeah.
He's also an
Yeah.
awesome songwriter as well.
And that is so true. And a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know that, but that is
Mhm.
very true.
Don't know it, but he's an awesome songwriter. So I think I'll be going out there June the 24th and the 25th to see what's up and see what this.
Yeah.
Also, I need to check out this life support this
I'm
Sunday
telling you, you
afternoon.
got to come check it out. It's hip hop.
Um,
You like hip hop?
I do. I love hip
Listen,
hop. I
next
really
year
love
though, you got to
praise.
make a promise. Let's do it on this live so I can always keep a record. Everyone that's listening on the live, this is what Marcus is going to do. Next year, he's coming to the Quartet Music Awards. Ain't that right, Marcus?
I will be going to the Quartet Music Awards.
Oh, yay! That's how we do it. Put them on the spot. They can't define you.
If the Lord say the
same. I knew it. I knew he was going to say that. But hey, we're going to make a Quartet fan out of him after a while.
Yes. I'm going to try my best. To be there.
Well, introduce everybody to our subject for today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the things that we definitely have to talk about. This is this young man who was caught in a neighborhood, or seems like he was attacked, and in a particular neighborhood that he was in. And I ultimately found out that the neighborhood where this event took place is about 2 blocks from the Trayvon Martin incident. So we are still kind of like in the same neighborhood. So this is an incident. It's
literally right down from it.
Yeah, right down the street. And on the front part, it seems to be racially motivated. But I want to caution everybody. To make sure that you get all of the facts before we begin to make our own judgments. And this is something that I have learned, because the world is filled. Social media gives you sound bites and quick clips, so you are only able to see a one-sided viewpoint. And I'm not going to take sides on either or. I'm just, on my opinion, is either right, is wrong. There was no in between, and there were a lot of missteps on both sides. Both sides had a lot of missteps. What we are going to talk about is basically what you've seen on television for the last, few days regarding this incident where this young man was in the neighborhood, and he seems to have been accosted by 2 white adult males.
Yes.
So what do you know of this incident? Because apparently this young man is connected to one of the commissioners in Orlando, Regina Hill.
Yes, Regina Hill. Yes.
And I believe his father is a successful business owner as well.
Yes.
And
his family is influential, I'll say.
Yeah, he comes from an influential family. I think he's 18 years old. Is he 18?
Yes, he's 18, and I think the person in the vehicle with him was either 15 or 16, but they were.
Yeah, it's a 15. From what I understand, the passenger in the vehicle was 15. So what do you understand of what took place?
Okay, so I'll start from the video that I saw. So I did see a video that came from a house. You know how a lot of homes have the Ring cameras and the different cameras that videotape their street. And so there was a video that came in that showed the white Mercedes driving very reckless around the cul-de-sac. And so they were going in a circle to very fast. It was very fast. They were speeding, and it literally looked like they were popping wheelies in a car. So, and it was a lot of screeching of brakes and different things like that. And this was in a cul-de-sac of a gated community. So I saw that. So I understand the anger. I understand the neighbors feeling away, and getting aggravated, but I do not agree and do not understand you taking the law into your own hands. So that's my standpoint.
So there was a bit of vigilanteism, if that's a word that we can use.
Yes.
Vigilante acts that took place. So let's start with let's break this down. The car was in the neighborhood, and
Yes.
from the camera viewpoint, we could see that there was popping wheelies and spinning out in the neighborhood, right?
Literally, yes.
Literally. Tires screeching because you're mashing on the brakes and the gas at the same
At the
time.
same time, yes.
You have a high-powered vehicle, which is a Mercedes, which is steel reinforced.
Yes.
So it is built that way to cause minimal damage to the passengers, as well as the car itself. So it's a very, very strong built, heavy car because it has a steel frame. Now you are in the neighborhood. You are 18 years old. So I'm going to take that as point number one, because at 18 years old, you have a high-powered car. You're going to test the reins any chance you get, no matter
all
what.
of us have done that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've done it. Even in my
Yes.
parents' family car that doesn't have, as a teenager, I'm going to push that car to the limits, and I'm blasting the radio.
Absolutely. At the same time.
At the same time, I'm driving fast and I'm blasting the radio. This is what happens with young people.
Young people.
It is, especially boys. We do that.
Especially boys. Yeah.
Especially boys. We do that. So anytime I borrowed my mother's car, because my father would never let me borrow his. Anytime I borrow my mother's car, I will always forget to turn the radio down and change the station back to the gospel station. So anytime she would get in the car after I had it, all the time, all the time I was getting fuss, all the time. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the young man only on the point that he's 18, immature, silly, reckless, okay, and his pituitary gland has not developed completely. He's still a child, even though in the eyes of the law, we see him as an adult. He's still a child.
Right.
Reckless in the fact that in the car with him was an underage 15-year-old. And he was doing all of this with the young 15-year-old in the car. Now, I'm faulting him for that. One.
And I will say this, that the young man admitted to reckless driving. Yes, he did.
He admitted to reckless driving. He admitted to that. So I'm going to fault him for doing the reckless driving.
Yes.
In the neighborhood that he does not live in.
Right.
And also for having the young child in the car with him. But I'm leaning on the side that that's irresponsibility in the mind of a child. I have to do that.
Exactly. I agree with that.
The people who came outside, because apparently it was very loud. He probably had gone around that cul-de-sac more than once. Because if he went around the cul-de-sac one time and drove off, that would have been the end of it, right?
Exactly.
Pretty much. We'll say that may have been the end of it. Had he just popped the wheelie in the circle, drove off real fast and was gone.
Yeah, because if he would have drove off, honestly, I would have thought if he would have drove off, they probably would have tried to get his tag number or description of the car and call it in and say, hey, this vehicle just flew out of here, But instead, it circled around in there.
He circled around. Now, here's my thing. You already know what type of neighborhood you are in. Are you doing that purposely to aggravate people? Are you doing that purposely to aggravate people in a neighborhood that you do not live in? And you're visiting friends. And people do that.
Right.
No matter what, people do that. One thing that I am not going to, because if it happened in my neighborhood, and I'm in a cul-de-sac, because I grew up in a cul-de-sac. No
Yes.
one ever did that in our cul-de-sac in our neighborhood. Nobody did that. And my cousin lived in the cul-de-sac with us, and I remember him being a streetcar driver. And my father was one also when he was growing up. As a teenager and as a young man, they raced cars in the streets. They street raced.
Mm-hmm.
But they never did that in our neighborhood. Never, 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 never. Now,
Well,
okay, we
I'm
live
gonna
in
tell
different
on
times.
myself then. Let me just tell on myself because I was one of those reckless children, and I used to live in Kissimmee, over on the west side of Kissimmee, and we were reckless in the cul-de-sac over there in McLaren Circle. It was called McLaren Circle, and we were reckless. We had convertibles. Almost all of us as 18-year-olds had convertible cars. I had mine. My friends had theirs. We would sit on hoods of the cars, stand out of the car, and be riding around in circles
Yeah, y'all was crazy.
in the McLaren Circle. So
Yeah, y'all was crazy.
that's my
Definitely
kid.
crazy.
I was one of those little reckless kids. So I'm going to be very sympathetic to this young man because God was sympathetic to me.
I'm not I'm holding him accountable for what he
No,
did.
I'm just, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now on the flip side of that, uh as a person who values where they live, I value the neighborhood that I live in, and I also value my neighbors and their property. If I lived in a cul-de-sac or if I lived on the street where there are children who could possibly be outside playing, and someone did this in my neighborhood, I would be extremely upset.
Okay, would you engage them?
Maybe it depends, because I'm that, I have a military background, and I don't mind telling somebody to slow down.
Okay.
Slow down. I don't mind doing that.
Okay. So you're be like, hey, slow down.
Slow down. And if you keep on doing it, then we're gonna have a problem, because it's like I told you one time, slow down. Don't let me have to tell you twice, because now my children already are in danger, and the people in the neighborhood are in danger as well. You don't know. People could be out walking their dogs. People could be out with their children.
And it was
riding bikes.
it was in the daytime, so
It's in
a
the
lot of
daytime.
stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff could have happened wrong.
A lot
in
of
there.
things could have gone
And
wrong.
even with doing a high spin like that, they could have flipped. They could have
flipped, hit a male, right. He
Yeah.
could have lost control, anything, because that's a powerful car.
Yes, it is.
And you could have lost control. You could have hit a mailbox. You could have ran off and hit somebody's car if some child was playing in the yard. So what happened, what I saw with the men, I didn't see all of what the men did that accosted the car. I don't know whether or not they accosted the young man physically, but I do know that they attacked his car.
They did attack the car. I don't see any reports of bodily injury.
No reports of bodily injury.
Right.
And the only thing, I never heard them speak anything racial. I never heard that. They did call him names, but they did not call him any racial slurs that I heard, nor did they call him any trigger slur words. I did hear a lady in the background saying, "You don't belong in this neighborhood." I did hear that.
Yes, that was one of the men's wives.
That was one of the men's wives. And that could be, and I also heard her when he made a statement that who has the gun, because things were cut out. So somebody must have made mention of a gun. And I also heard a female say, "We are not the ones who would have the guns. It would be you."
Right.
That is racially motivated.
That was racially motivated.
That's racially motivated.
And they were the ones with the gun.
They were the ones with the gun.
Yes, they were.
So I could say you don't belong in this neighborhood is kind of teeter-tottery. That could be either or. You don't belong in this neighborhood because you don't live here, or you don't belong in this neighborhood because you're black.
You're black. I think that's what it was to me. I'm just gonna say. It sounded like that to me.
you know, and I can't, it could be, you know, it could be, so I'm not going to rule that out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rule that out. But what I am going to say is I didn't see anything on the men part, but the way that they did attack the young man and the anger behind it, the way they attacked his car was totally wrong.
Oh,
Totally wrong.
it was like throwing a missile through a moving car. Like they threw a cinder block, I believe that's what they said.
While the car was moving or while it was parked?
Moving. It was while
Really?
the car was moving through the windshield.
Wow. See, I thought this was done after the car was parked.
No. I think that's initially what stopped the car.
Oh, so he stopped when they threw the cinder block through the window.
Yes, and then he started recording.
Okay. All right. So here's my thing. Here's my thing in it. I think that once the action started, then once the ball started rolling.
Yeah.
Then tempers get riled up. Now the young man did stay calm. And
he did exceptionally well.
He did very well. And I would have too, given the fact that you have looking at his size, at the size of him. And the size of those two grown men. And not only that, you're in a neighborhood where there were probably a lot of people standing outside watching what was going on. And they will all be in favor of their neighbor because they've known Bob, they've known Jim,
they saw what happened too.
And they saw what happened.
So I want to say this
in favor of the neighbor.
So I want to throw this curveball in a little bit. Sometimes with influential children or children that have parents that are influential, we abuse the power that we have.
Yes.
We have a sense of entitlement.
That's right.
Like we can do what we want, when we want, and where we want. So I'm going to throw that angle in because sometimes we feel as if I'm going to get off of it anyway.
Yeah. And you know what, and I'm not going to say that the parents didn't raise him right. I'm not going to say that.
That's not what I'm saying. Some kids just make up in their own mind.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In their own mind
I'm not gonna
to do.
and I know that's not. I know that's not what you're saying, but I don't want anybody to think that's where we're coming from.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it also is a different generation and a different generation of parents because I used to work with Judge Belvin Perry's son. Belvin Perry Jr. I used to work with Belvin. He didn't have that entitlement type of attitude that I could see. Now, was he a little pompous? Yeah, Belvin Perry Jr. was a little pompous sometimes at work, but we didn't have a lot of interaction with one another. We did talk every now and then, but we didn't have that much interaction with one another.
Right.
But I agree. There are, and that goes across the board, whether you're black, white, or other, where you come from a family that has money and they can afford you different things, you will take that approach that, you know, you might be able to get away with it. But then you're in a neighborhood where the people are even more affluent than you are.
Talk about that now.
Or your parents. And so they are not about to allow you to come into the neighborhood where they live and pay taxes and keep their yards and home. They know what peace and they pay for peace and quiet.
Peace of quiet and mind. Yeah.
They pay for it. That's right.
But the only thing that I wish that I would have seen in this is that they literally just have called the police.
That's what they should have done.
Just call the police.
Here's a catch-22 to that, Drina. Essentially, this young man was kind of saved, basically, even though they accosted his car.
Yeah.
Because the police being called into an affluent neighborhood like that, it could have gone totally different.
Wow.
Because it was going to be his word against 30 other people. And I'm exaggerating on the ball could
change so fast.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Now they ended up being arrested because he had video evidence. And But had they called the police initially before they did this, things may have gone a totally different direction for this young man.
Absolutely.
They could have gone in a totally different direction. So it was a catch-22 for him. It was a blessing in disguise that they did what they did, and the police were not called, because God only knows what could have happened. Especially they're saying a gun was involved.
Right.
Who would they have thought had the gun? You know who they would have thought had the gun. And the crazy thing is that even when dispatch, the 911 operator is clearly telling the officers who has the gun, the communication and the translation is still sometimes mixed up, because we've seen several times where the victim has called and they are not the ones with the gun, but it's the person that is.
But they get detained immediately,
right? And they go and arrest and beat up and maim the person who doesn't even have a gun. So it could have gotten very, 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 very ugly for this young man.
Yes, it could have. But well, God didn't let it be so. Oh, he blocked it.
Okay, Kirk Carr.
I had to throw that in for you. I was gonna see if you caught on, but I had to throw that one in for you. He blocked it.
He didn't let him fall. He kept the young man, and that's something that this young brother ought to be grateful for, because it could have gone. And not just him, but his parents as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Now we got to see what unfolds in the courts, because they filed lawsuit, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Yeah.
Do I think the men were justified in being angry at this young man? I absolutely do.
I think so. I mean,
absolutely do. 100%.
Yeah. I would have been a little upset too. I've screamed at a couple of cars to slow down.
Yeah.
I literally have. I would yell and say, "Slow down, kids over here."
Did they go overboard? They went overboard.
I think they went very overboard.
They
went very overboard, because I've never went up to anybody's car. That was too much. I do yell at your car though. I yell while driving too. I'm just saying.
Right.
Little road rage days of the week. Keep going.
Looking out the window, yelling at you, and I'm still driving.
Steady driving. I'm not going to engage you. Right.
You're stupid.
You can't even drive. Get out the road.
Okay. Get out the way.
You do it too, don't you, Shanti? She said, "I do not do it."
I'm telling you, I look out the window and call people stupid with your stupid self. You
be telling them they stupid. He said he look out the window and tell the people they stupid.
Where you get your driver's license? Out of Cracker Jack box? You
probably didn't even pass the test. They're just getting anybody license around here.
Oh man!
Listen, y'all.
And
we do an amazing show. I hope you guys have enjoyed us. This is crazy. We love to make you think and laugh. And so this is our ops moments, where we tell you a little bit about what's going on, but we give our personal opinions. You see, we weren't too far apart in our opinions, but we shined the light on some things on how they can be appeared and looked for the same incident.
That's right. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you get all the facts before we pass judgment. We have to get all of the facts, because again, we live in a soundbite and video bite society. You don't always get the full picture, but make sure you get all the information before you start judging or making assumptions. And remember, we do this better together. That's what we are here for. We're here for one another. We love y'all.
Absolutely. Culture for Christ, your girl, Lady Drina, and
your boy, Marcus Scanias.
And we'll catch you next week, y'all. Monday and Tuesday.
Won't give my love to grows
now that it's over, there's no more use for guns and war. Cost me a lifetime just to gain this life's reward. They say streets of gold. Can you imagine somewhere where life will never end, no one ever grows old? Oh,
able to take a picture of that for me and just send it to that text message? Oh, okay. So here is, you have a report. It's probably not going to be helpful once you put the price in and you have a $1,000 up, Coach? So, what's up? You know they got to put you on an improvement plan. Yeah, if I don't get this together, we're going to try to fire me. So I'm about to, I'm asking my old job today if they're looking for somebody to come back and fix this. No, they got plenty of employees. The thing is that the claims that they see out there, the department that I'm in, this department is like, they want you to get a claim. It's, it is. It's extremely hard. Right. You need to have to do more stuff. And this. I said, all right, no problem. They told me like they gave me until July or something saying that they gave me until July or something. Yeah. Like, all right, well, I'll call my old job. Oh God. Listen, I'm just doing it. This guy, yeah, I mean the money is good, but it's overwhelming. Listen, but I don't have peace. I don't have no peace. It's like I wake up in the middle of the night, like I gotta do this, I gotta go to this job. That's how it is. It's like I'm waking up in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. It's not cool. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. And so it's like, I think I ain't never feel like this in my other job. This stuff is, I got aggravated with people because they weren't giving me the money that I thought I had to serve. But it's like, hold up. Yeah. Yeah, I think if I get what she, if I can stay up under 25 claims right now, I'll be safe. And that's what I am trying to knock it down. Right now, I'm at like 30. I want to try to get it down even below that. Sure. So what's going on? You know, right. They should know. Where did you break it up? You took Megabus back? I think maybe your phone was breaking up. on Chick-fil-A. Oh crap. Look, I had to get up early and take Peter, my Peter, to the airport. So I was up at 3 o'clock, and you know, we all stayed up chit-chatting and everything. And then my sister, she got up and she went, she got up just yesterday. She was going, oh, I was mad as what they had me going out. And I didn't want to shame us either, so I ain't say the whole thing either. It was a shit show. Who's over it? Who's over it? Oh no.
And so the guy that was hosting with him, he covered Bobby so well. I'm talking about this. He was the best person to pair up with Bobby. He just showed, I gave so much respect for this dude. When it comes down to quartet hosting, he's the top when it comes down to male quartet hosting. And I'm the top of the females, literally, in this genre right now.